Ladies and gentlemen, welcome down under the mat. We are here in Madison Square Garage.
Correct.
Right this week,
Yep.
around the pool table of relevancy. This is Dan Danielson. I am Roddy Reece, and we are here to talk wrestling.
That is correct. That is what this podcast is for. Wrestling. It's a wrestling podcast. If you want to come watch our old podcasts, obviously all available on YouTube. A bunch of TikTok videos we've got out there. Did we hit a milestone for TikTok?
We hit a milestone. It's finally surpassed 1,000 followers.
That's pretty good. I mean, we're up to 300 and something on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
A bunch of subscribers, so thank you.
Nice new surge there, which is excellent.
Make
to see.
sure you obviously comment on this video down wherever the comment section is.
All our socials,
It's all down there. Give us a like.
Come chat.
Come and chat to us. Tell us what you like about our podcast, what you want us to talk about, and what videos we want to chuck up on TikTok. Because
constructive criticism is always good criticism.
absolutely, any help we can get is kind of what we're saying. Just throw us a bone, ladies and gentlemen. So let's talk news. Let's talk wrestling news before we jump into the show reviews. There's a bunch of good news, but we'll start with some of the more sadder news for the wrestling world for the last week. Last week on the podcast, we forgot to mention the passing of Kevin Sullivan from WWE. And then this week, there was also the passing of Afa Anoa'i, which is another one of the Wild Samoans. So they two big losses.
Yeah, both of them are gone. Like Afa and Sika both passed within the last 2 months. Like that's going to be a huge toll on that family.
And I mean, we'll talk about this when we get to the SmackDown review later on. But Roman was on the show. He was there, and they're his uncles. So, look, tough times. I mean, the one thing that we'll always say. I mean, I personally don't really know who Kevin Sullivan was. I knew he was around.
I didn't realize he had so much history. Like I knew the name and I knew that he was a part of the wrestling industry, but until that historical promo package for him.
Yep.
I didn't realize how prominent he was.
And that was the point I was going to make is that WWE, and we've said this so many times, is that WWE's video packages are second to none.
Yeah.
But I didn't know too much about Kevin Sullivan and his career. That video package was like, oh wow, he was probably influential. And obviously we all knew of the Wild Samoans because of the Samoan dynasty, the big family tree, everything The Rock and all that have done.
Training school. I didn't realize they were doing so much stuff outside of the wrestling industry, like the on-screen stuff. Like they got the training schools, they got scholarships as well that they offer. Yeah. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, correct. And the good thing, I guess, for them is that the family that they've built and the lineage that they have, they'll always be remembered.
Just look at the impact they're currently having. And just that Samoan dynasty in general, the impact that they've always had. The Wild Samoans, Rocky Johnson, High Chief PMI Vita, The Rock. And now you've got Usos, Solo. You had Rikishi.
Well, and what's the stat? Like I've seen it so many. It's like Jimmy has 3 kids, Jay has 2 kids,
Roman's got 5, Jacob's got
7. Yeah,
like this. We are going to be dealing with this dynasty for decades and decades to come.
Absolutely. Speaking of a dynasty, and decade of wrestling dynasties, Dom Mysterio was on ImPAULsive for the week.
This was actually
what a
really
segue
good
that was.
Yeah.
Well done.
Very good. Well done, Dan.
Thanks, mate. That's right. Well, I mean, he's a second generation wrestler.
Yeah.
Third generation wrestler.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Technically
third. Yeah.
Yeah. Then that's not including Eddie Guerrero as his real father, which was brought up on the interview, which is fantastic. Look, I've been a big fan of the ImPAULsive interviews that Logan's been doing with the wrestlers because a lot of the time he just gets them to be really comfortable and they will be happy to talk to him now as Logan Paul, the YouTuber, the podcaster, but now he's the WWE wrestler. Yeah. So I think there's a bit more respect from those sort of people letting him talk shit about their business and stuff because he's in it. Yeah. Whereas you did this 2 or 3 years ago, he was just the YouTube guy poking fun at the wrestling business, and now he's got that inside to it. This was a really fun interview with Dom. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. He gives some really fun insights to. I think the one that they sort of do as the promo bit to the start of the interview was that the day that Rhea Ripley was in the ring and licked Dom's face, the first text he gets from his wife was, "Hey, we've got a tarantula in the garage." Yeah. And to be fair, after watching this, I actually kind of like Dom Mysterio.
I was starting to come around to Dom, and this just further cements
Absolutely.
that. It's like, that they've got on-screen personalities, which, like, sometimes their job is to get you to hate them.
Yep.
But when you get to know them off screen, it kind of like softens that blow and you get to like them as a person. That's how I came around on John Cena. I was seeing all the stuff that he was doing on Total Divas, and then they had the Bellas spin-off, and like seeing him and how he functions in that at-home setting, and just like how like humble, relaxed he is most of the time, and then how driven he is, that really warmed me up.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that it's having the same effect with you and Dom.
Yeah, it is. And the thing that, like you said, is that there are on-screen characters and then there are like the people themselves. Yeah. And Dirty Dom is very different to Dominic by the way that it is. And the fact
even
that
his voice differs sometimes.
That was weird how that happened. But the good part was obviously his wife that he's been with since he was 14. Like they've been together for a long time and since they were kids. Can draw that delineation between on-screen Dom and at-home Dom, which I think is good. And I think a lot of people, wrestling fans, maybe can't have that same mentality. They think that, if you walk into Dom Mysterio at an airport or at a restaurant, it's the same guy that will, turn on you and spit on you and like be the horrible Dom. But it's not. It's Dominic Mysterio.
Like, look how Lockie was. Like, I know Lockie's 10, but like last year when we were talking about Rhea and Buddy and then Rhea doing all that stuff with Dom, Lockie started to not like Rhea because he thought that she was legitimately cheating on Buddy. Like,
and it's crossing.
It's hard to understand that when you're that young.
Yeah,
and it's like when adults can't differentiate that. That's a little.
And the thing that I'll also give to maybe not so much kids, but like people that maybe can't draw that difference. You look at someone like CM Punk.
Yeah,
I feel that the CM Punk you see on TV is the same CM Punk you would see walking down the street.
Yeah, probably.
And I think that the impression that he gives as a character is he's not a character, he is himself.
Yeah.
But then you have someone like Dom or Rhea that are a character, not themselves.
Yeah. So
look, I get the confusion to a degree, but I think the whole point of us bringing this up was it was a really good interview on that podcast. And Dom, if you ever want to, debut, look, we can find another spot for you. We'll chuck you in here.
The mat, buddy.
You can anytime. You're welcome.
Yeah. Speaking of interviews, I think that's a really good segue to talk about the MJF one that happened this week. So MJF's been over in the UK doing some promo in the lead up to All In.
He also had a very good match.
2 weeks? Next week?
Next weekend.
Oh, next week.
It is next weekend. Yeah, it's 8 days. Yeah. 8 days away.
That's exciting. MJF did an interview with Cultaholic and Wrestle Talk. I'm sure he did a couple more in there as well.
Those are the two big ones we know of.
And both of us have actually watched the Wrestle Talk one. And I'm just going to say it now. MJF's ability to do an interview as MJF, but have Maxwell sneak in every now and then and answer a couple questions, just to like blur that line a little bit. That's what really got me on this interview. Yep. Like you got MJF, the dickhead.
Yep.
But then you...
The American hero. Thank you very much.
The American dickhead. But then you got that little snippet of Maxwell every now and then.
Yeah.
Like talking about Triple H and the impact that he's had on MJF throughout his youngest times growing up and all that. And then his little homage when he returned earlier this year.
Yep.
And the fact that he actually acknowledged that, yes, it was a nod to Triple H.
Yes. Yeah. The Cultaholic one was similar. That came out first. I feel like there was, like with most media tours, I feel like there was certain targets that you had to hit. You had to touch on on All In. Yeah. You had to touch on the Rev Pro stuff that he did with Michael Oku. He kept calling him Obu, which was hilarious. And
then they did the whole like exchange of like Oku.
Obu.
Boo.
It was great. But yeah, there was some things, similarities across both interviews.
Yeah,
with what he was saying. And a lot of it also was him just paying out on English people. The fact that they don't have aircon in their studios.
We do that as Australians.
They have no taste on their... The funniest part with the Cultaholic one was...
Well, that's why they have to put curry on their fish and chips all the time.
Just wait. So he says that your food is bland and tasteless. Do you guys not have any seasoning over here? And Jack from Cultaholic goes, yeah, we've got gravy. And so Jeff goes, hang on a minute. Gravy's not seasoning. What do you think seasoning is? And he goes, well, it's to make it taste. Anyway. And
just moved on. Admit defeat and move on.
You can't defend poor British food. But yes, this was a fascinating input into Max's mentality as MJF, I think. And the way that he sort of you got to see him play the American hero in England when knowing full well that the week after is the biggest pay-per-view in Wembley in England against Will Ospreay, who is their greatest wrestler, you'd say, of current times.
Well, I might.
Probably one of the best English wrestlers ever.
Yeah, I'd probably put him on that pedestal.
And you've got the American hero over there gloating over their entire country the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, it's very smart way of marketing it. I haven't had the chance to watch the Rev Pro match between him and Michael Oku, but it was, again, like, really, really good match. Like, Oku and Ospreay was, 6.5 stars or whatever that Meltzer gave earlier in the year. I'm sure this will be really great. And I think the key angle that came out of the match was that he beat up Oku so much. And I think he did the Tiger Driver 91 on him.
Yeah. Did what Ospreay is currently fearing doing.
Because he called Ospreay Nancy Boy.
Yep.
And then he was about to do it on Oku's valet, who's his wife or his partner. And Ospreay came out and stopped it. So I think that's...
the way he spun that he was trying to help her out of the ring.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So good. But that to me is a great use of media to get Max to do that. And I'm sure the Wrestle Talk and Cultaholic guys would have absolutely loved to have that opportunity to
that would have
chat
been
with
a blast.
him. The other point that we're going to talk about with the AEW stuff before we keep going is the fact that obviously All In, we said, is in 8 days.
Yep.
They've now announced All In for 2025.
Yep. Texas.
In Texas.
At I think, official capacity for that with the normal setup for like baseball, because I'm pretty sure it's a baseball stadium.
Yeah, it's not the Cowboy Stadium.
It's 40,900. So I'd say they're looking around that 40K mark for when they do their setup for wrestling and whatnot.
And I mean, they've had...
Oh man, like I'm tired of like shitting on AEW in some aspects. Like I really want them. I want this to go.
Absolutely.
Well. I want them to sell that out.
Yep.
And just like stick it to all the naysayers, which I know we have been in the past, but like
We still are kind of.
just like story aspects.
Hashtag
but, like,
macho.
Success wise, I want this to happen because this is going to be humongously beneficial for AEW.
Yep.
And not only with them doing All In Texas next year, there's been heavy rumors circulating that we are going to be getting AEW Down Under.
Oh, 100%. Sign me up.
Oh, that's exciting. I'm 100% going. So
Tony Storm, Kyle Fletcher. We talked about it the other podcast about how many Australian wrestlers there are globally.
We haven't fixed the flag yet, but we'll get there.
We'll put the faces on
We'll
it
get there
eventually.
eventually.
100%. I'm all for that. I'm all for this All In Texas. The fact that the last 8 weeks or something or whatever they've had at Collision has been all filmed in Texas. So they did like a
Oh, is that like that?
you know how
It's got that really cool entrance ramp and
correct.
stage
Yeah.
set up.
But it's I can't think of
Esports arena, is it?
I can't remember what it's called. But they did the it's what I can't think of the word. But there's a word, and I'm very good as a wordsmith. No, when a musical or a stage show or
Residency.
something. Residency, that's the word. Well done. They did the residency in that building.
Sometimes.
That's supposedly like a really good financial decision for them as well, because them
absolutely.
hiring that arena was only like $200,000 or something for the time, and then by the time they sell out enough tickets for it, because it's only a 1,200 or 1,300 seat arena. But because
like
of
when that gets filled out, it
sell
looks good.
Yeah, 100%.
And like even like their residency there, I feel like that stage setup and like how everything looks, it brings that different aspect. Because usually they're just doing Rampage and Collision off the back of Dynamite.
Yeah, and it all looks the same. Yep.
It all looks the same. Like getting that variation in there brings a different sort of feel to the product as well.
Yes.
Which is like we've mentioned it before. Like we need to start getting that bit of a variety with AEW just to give everything a bit of a different feel. So,
and I think this would be great. I think them announcing All In next year in Texas already is probably a good thing, because the rumors that are circulating was that they might not be able to have gotten All In London for a third year in a row.
Wonder why that could be.
Because maybe Mr. Papa H.
He did have a meeting a few weeks back with
the London mayor.
Yeah.
And they were talking WrestleMania. I don't think they were actually talking WrestleMania.
I reckon they were just talking any event.
SummerSlam 2025. Could be the 2-night
It
extravaganza.
was Minneapolis that got confirmed 26, right?
And that's the 2-night one.
Yeah.
But that's 26.
Just making sure that there hasn't been any confirmation for next year.
There's nothing for next year
That's
yet.
good.
So I reckon that is the strong possibility that if they've, I don't want to say bullied AEW out of London, but they've decided, look, we're going to go hit the international, the England scene in summer.
Yeah.
You probably know as a business you can't sell out 50,000 for a WWE event, then 50,000 for an AEW event within weeks. It's not going to happen. So if WWE gets in there first and we're like, hi, we're going to take this, AEW moving it back to Texas makes sense.
Yeah. But I think that gives AEW a really good opportunity to expand their American market and hopefully get a lot more new people into their product.
Yeah, and look, if they do a show in Australia, that'd be great. If they can then do a different show in London, if they do Dynasty in London, or
they've got
Double or
so
Nothing,
many other opportunities to take something over there.
Yeah,
I think sacrificing All In next year is not a big deal. But like with this Australian show, they're looking at doing an East Coast show, which is more beneficial for us. Thank God, because we had to go to the West Coast for Elimination Chamber this year. While that was a fun trip, I don't know if I'd enjoy doing that again because my wallet's still recovering.
Yeah, and I'm still jet lagged from the 4 hour flight.
Yeah, I
look at us whinging about 4 hour flights.
I would prefer to go to Melbourne, perhaps.
I
don't think it's going to be multiple cities. It's just one city that they're going to be targeting. Yeah. And it's either Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne. I wouldn't mind going to Brisbane because I think they're looking at potentially Suncorp for that. Suncorp's a really nice stadium to do it at.
And the seating of Suncorp is much more vertical, so it probably helps the crowd.
Better view for
whereas
the crowd. Sydney,
it depends on the size.
I'd like to see, if they announce it, I'd like to see Brisbane or Melbourne because I go to Sydney all the time. I'd like to go to somewhere else.
Likewise. Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I bought my Gambino tickets for Melbourne, was because I was sick of going to Sydney for concerts. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, fingers crossed it gets announced soon because apparently they got the backing of Teg Daney, which is essentially Ticketek's parent company, right?
Yeah, they're the ones that were doing all the WWE tours. Yeah.
So if it's got the backing of that, I think there's a pretty strong chance that it's actually going to happen.
Yeah, that's
I'm
good.
Pumped. Just don't be around late May
when you're not here.
Early February, because I have a wedding and also we're going to Japan. So.
Yeah, priorities, Reece, go to the wrestling shows.
Getting married. And I'm going to Japan with my family.
I stand by my previous statement. Mate, sure Annie would get married in the stands of an AEW event. You happy for that?
No.
What if we could get like Max or Jacob Friedman to like be the master of ceremonies for you?
Oh, I'd mark it. Annie would not have a bar of that.
No?
Not big into wrestling.
All right, fair enough. It's worth a shot. Speaking of things that are big in wrestling,
Bobby Lashley. What a unit.
He is a big man.
Officially on the WWE alumni section.
Yes, and MVP's parent company, or whatever he works with, since he was an independent wrestler on the scene working with New Japan, have filed for the trademark, the Hurt Syndicate.
That's got a really nice ring to it. I'm excited for that.
Where is the Hurt Syndicate going to show up?
Everywhere. And just have them run rampant.
Yeah.
Do a Matt Cardona and just dominate everything. I did see a fan-made poster. It was Lashley MVP Shelton Benjamin with Scorpio Sky, Powerhouse Hobbs. And I think
where is Powerhouse Hobbs? I haven't seen him for ever. Is he injured?
I don't know. Saying that, where's Scorpio Sky? Because he
okay.
On CVV he said he's been fine for 6 months to a year. Yeah. That's the thing with the AEW roster. You get injured, it's really hard to slot back in there.
Well, and we said the same thing with Daniel Vito last week when he signed with TNA, was that he could have gone to AEW, but he lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, exactly.
If you've got people like Powerhouse Hobbs, Scorpio Sky that are known names, if you're a nobody, it's no chance of getting there if they can't.
And with AEW's ability to be there, but still also go to other promotions, Ring of Honor, probably work with TNA, but I don't know how that'd go with the NXT partnership.
CMLL, Rev Pro.
You've got
New Japan.
A load of opportunities. So I would love to see Scorpio Sky and Powerhouse Hobbs go with them and be that Hurt Syndicate. That'd be sick.
That'd be fun. I think that'd be really cool. Let's move into the television products for the week. Let's go have a chat about the shows and the storylines and things that are happening.
Might as well.
And let's start
with AEW.
Start with AEW. Let's keep with them because obviously, like we said, All In's coming up.
It's almost here.
It is. It's next week. Make sure we take the day off work so we can watch the shows.
Yep.
I mean, work from home. I mean, annual leave. I mean,
we have flex here in Australia, so we can build up time and then take time off. So it's fine. We're not chucking a sickie or anything.
Speak for yourself. But my annoyance, and I'll start with this isn't quite mud show levels of annoyance, but we all know that I don't like Mercedes Moné at the moment.
Yeah. Seems to be the general consensus for half
Most
to,
of
if
the
not
internet.
more, of the internet. And
Yeah, it's not great. But she opened Dynamite. And what annoyed me with this segment was it's fine, right? She is the TBS champion.
Yep.
So she should be wrestling on TBS and should be defending that title. That's the whole point of having a networked television title. But why does Hikaru Shida get a title shot for it when
She just lost.
she
to
lost to
Britt
Britt Baker and Britt Baker's got to wait for the pay-per-view?
Baker. Make it make sense.
That doesn't make sense at all.
Like I have previously thrown some shade at the eliminators that they do for championships.
Yeah.
This is the one instance where I would have preferred it, to be honest, because that made more sense than actually just giving Hikaru Shida a title match.
Yeah.
Especially when we're like, at the time, 2 weeks out from All In. Makes
Correct.
no sense.
Yeah, correct. Look, I liked the post-match stuff they did with the person in the crowd.
Yeah.
That was Britt Baker last week in a mask. This week it wasn't. They beat her up, and then Britt came in afterwards. Look, the match between Mercedes and Britt at All In is going to be very good.
Yep.
In the ring, I think they'll be quite talented. They'll put on a really good match. Just don't particularly care because I think that Mercedes is still going to win.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the best way that you've had Britt off TV for 12 months. You bring her back into a big feud. Everyone gets behind her and she's just going to job out to Mercedes.
Yeah. I said that from the get-go when Britt Baker came back and faced off for Mercedes. I was like, sweet. She's been gone for a year or more and she's going to come back and get fed to Mercedes.
Yep.
And it's just like, it kind of took my interest out of it straight away. And that's why I'm more excited for Mariah May versus Toni Storm.
Yeah, although the video package this week there was a couple of really nice
liked
lines in there from Mariah.
It was pretty good.
Look, I'm hoping for a good standoff promo between the two of them next week.
Yeah, got to have some sort of like somewhat civilized face-off before it just like explodes and
they
they
just
come to
go
blows.
crazy. Yeah. I mean, that was the same kind of thing with Claudio and Okada that they had on this. They just had sort of a face-off talking to each other, calling each other bitch. In
It's
suits.
so hilarious when Okada says bitch.
It is quite funny, but like it just kind of was like there.
Yeah.
Didn't really care for it, so I skipped through a whole bunch of that sort of stuff. The one thing I did care for and I thought was really good, and one thing that I'm actually like, I think this is probably one of the best things AEW's done is this casino gauntlet match
Yeah.
because I like the idea of it, and it's something that they didn't steal from WWE. They made this up. This was their idea.
Yeah.
And I like that, it's an idea of, it's like a Royal Rumble type thing, but it's not over the top rope. It's the first person to get a pinfall. So you want to be number one in this because you want to have as much time in that match as possible to pin or submit somebody else. Because you could get number 12 or number 15 or number 73. I don't know how many people they're going to put into this match. But you could, like, the match could be done. Number 1 and number 2 could wrestle and they could pin each other and you're like, oh, number 7 never gets in the match.
Yeah.
What a waste of your time. So I think that this triple threat had decent stakes on it for that reason. And I really like the way they sold the storyline between Kyle O'Reilly, OC, and Roddy Strong. They're all very good. This is the best part of, I think, the mid card that AEW has.
Yeah.
Is that it's kind of like Ring of Honor from 10 years ago. You just put a couple of guys out there and just say wrestle for 15 minutes and you just get a really good wrestling match.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this was. There was great spots between all two. We've got Kyle and OC in the conglomeration, which is a dumb word, but okay. Yeah. So they have a bit of teaming up. You obviously got Kyle and Roddy with all their stuff from the previous Undisputed Era and what they've had through Ring of Honor and stuff before. So they kind of did a bit of teaming up and it kind of all worked together and they were mix matching and on things and stuff and it ended with the pins. I reckon the other thing I'll
trying to get the right fucking angle.
Fingers for it. I think this could be the end of the Undisputed Kingdom.
Oh, dude, I've been thinking it for weeks. Like,
so there's 3 things I think that leads to that point. A, this match and the fact that they're kind of Roddy's just might maybe possibly team up with Kyle again and we can get rid of that. The second point is from Collision this week. You haven't seen this news. Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes just won the ROH tag titles off Matt Taven and the other guy, whatever. So now the Undisputed Kingdom have dropped the tag titles, right?
I'm confused. Didn't he just win?
He's got both. He's now a double champion. He's the trios champion and the tag champion.
Look at Dustin Rhodes killing it. In
Nearly
his
60,
50s, man.
nearly 60 years old. He's double champion. And the third point was that we're talking about those MGF interviews at the top of the show. He very clearly said in both of his interviews that Adam Cole is dead. I don't want to talk about him. He is dead. He's dead to me. He's not coming on TV. He's never wrestling again.
No, he like actually killed him.
He's killed him. He's gone. He's dead. I know that's obviously for an Adam Cole return, but I think that's probably putting it so that it's just an Adam Cole and MJF return.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an Undisputed Kingdom or the Devil return. I think that's gone.
With how much Adam Cole's been off TV, I feel like prolonging that more, he'll be a face when he comes back.
Maybe.
It's it all depends like what they're going to do with MJF from here.
Yeah.
Like, is he just heel for this feud with Will Ospreay? Will they turn him shortly after? And then that's when you look at doing the MJF Adam Cole one?
I think he's the best MJF as
That's
a
what I
heel.
mean. Like, if the time that Adam Cole's out is long enough, he could return to a pop and be somewhat of a face, and then we finally get that payoff.
But we don't want that return to come as part of the Undisputed Kingdom.
No, I think the ship sailed on that.
I reckon it's gone. I reckon it's it.
The trigger was pulled a little bit too quick, and then MJF got injured, took some time off before he re-signed. Adam Cole got injured, took time off.
Yep.
It's just it's dead in the water. Pull the plug, get rid of it. Speaking of, what the hell's Wardlow doing?
Very good point. No idea. No idea.
WWE.
Oh no. A couple of other things from Dynamite quickly. The Young Bucks had a first match for like 4 months, defending their titles against the Acclaimed.
Were the Lucha Bros at TV? Did they get to have a talk to them?
Backstage, the EVPs. Fine match. Dodgy finish with FTR. It's going to set up a triple threat all in. We all know that's going to come. And it did happen because at Collision, it was a number one contenders match. And it was a time limit draw. Yeah. So now you got a triple threat. Look,
I'm not mad at that.
How could you get as many people onto the all in show as physically possible? Multiple man matches.
Because I feel like they're going to put on a really good match. Because like we've seen FTR versus Young Bucks, 5 times already?
Yes.
I think adding in the Acclaimed is going to bring a little bit of freshness to it.
Yes.
Which is going to be really good.
Mac's going to cut a mad promo on London when he comes through. It's going to be good as he comes to the ring for that. Yeah. Then I guess the main point of AEW this week and the big storyline going into All In is Bryan Danielson.
House?
Swerve's house.
Damn right. Fuck Daniel Bryan.
Whoa, mate.
I'm kidding.
Mate.
I'm kidding.
Whatever you want to say about Daniel Bryan, do not say about Bryan Danielson. The promo video, we've always said that the AEW ones have been a bit average. They did this one very, very good. This was the Bryan Danielson career video, which I think had a lot of his ROH, PWG, New Japan, and obviously no WWE footage. Wow. So there's that kind of big chunk of his career in the middle that doesn't show up. He looks really young, and then he's like really old. 40. Hang on, where did this bit in like his 30s go? It's just not in the video.
I wish we said it with the whole Sting stuff. I wish instead of being at each other's throats for special occasions like this, just work together. Let them have some video footage.
Do you reckon though? I reckon AEW didn't even ask.
Yeah, and like that's what came out after the Sting stuff. So,
yeah, they didn't even ask for it.
Did they even want to? Like, who knows?
It was a good video.
Yeah,
it set the theme for it, and like I said last week, Danielson wins. Yep, but they're really trying to make me think Swerve's going to beat him. This match that Swerve had with Wheeler Yuta was fine. It was what we wanted. It was a dominant Swerve victory. He then beat up Yuta with 3 house calls and then just kept punching him until there was a ref stoppage. Then Danielson had to get involved. The fact that Swerve then cut the promo, walking out saying that, I'm going to cripple you. I'm going to end your career. And he asked, he goes, just want to make sure your daughter's going to be there, right? Your 7-year-old daughter is going to be in the crowd so she can see you get crippled by me and retire and will know that you'll never wrestle again.
Trying to make him heel, but we all like Swerve too much.
Yeah, but he has to be the heel in this match.
Yeah.
Because Danielson is always going to be the fan favorite, especially anyone that puts their career on the line, right? It's always going to be the face. So you had to do something to make Swerve the bad guy for it. I kind of like the Hangman feud, everything. He went in and cut the promo on Hangman's daughter. Yeah. He's done the same thing here with Danielson. Like, this is the Swerve that we want. We want Swerve to be that kind of guy that is the tweener. He is aggressive. He will do whatever it takes, and he'll just do it. And if we want to cheer him, we cheer him. If we want to boo him, we boo him.
Yeah, it's the whole
the
crux
same
of
Swerve.
this feud. You have to do whatever it takes.
Absolutely.
Swerve is proving that right now.
This is going to be a very good match. I'm still backing Danielson. If I have to put my picks in,
I'm going to pretty confidently go with Danielson.
Because a lot of rumors coming out of it is the All Out event 2 weeks later.
Yes. We've seen the rumored main event announcement, which is Swerve versus Hangman.
Which
Spoilers,
we thought we were going
to. If you haven't heard of it,
we thought we were going to get that for All In.
We did.
But then Danielson beat Hangman.
I don't think All Out's going to be a bad substitute.
Well, the other thing too is that we know Pac, because Pac got a crappy promo on this. Sorry, Pac. That he has the international title shot. So that would be
Ospreay versus Pac is gonna slap, dude. Holy shit!
But the funny part is it's gonna be in America.
Yeah.
Because you could have had Ospreay versus Pac at All In, but MJF cost that. So then now you're gonna do it the reverse around. Look, that'll be a very good match.
I hope that's it All Out.
That is it All Out.
It's been confirmed. Is that what the
Pac is having his international title shot at All Out.
That's gonna be so good.
Because it's either Pac versus MJF or Pac Ospreay, but it's gonna be Ospreay, I reckon. That's All In. I mean, that's All In. That's AEW. Yeah. They are cooking coming into All In.
They are doing some good cooking this week. Props to them.
Let's go to WWE.
Yes.
First off, I want to touch on WWE NXT and all the stuff that we saw this week on. Oh no, we didn't see it this week.
We've seen clips. I wonder if it's on Binge, and because we just don't use Binge.
Well, I can't. Yeah. So for those Aussies in Australia, those of us that watch the wrestling, we have to watch it on KO or Binge
or Fox 8 if you've got Australian cable.
Is Foxtel still a thing?
Yeah,
really.
Mum still got it.
Really?
My mum still got it because she's 60.
Well, yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I got rid of that box years ago, but all right. For some reason,
age, mate.
It wasn't on KO this week.
Yeah,
like I can still go back and watch.
I worked from home on Wednesday this week because I had some training and I wanted to have peace and quiet at home.
Yeah,
instead of having to try and train with office noise. I was like, yeah, as soon as I'm done work, I'll go watch NXT. And then it wasn't there, and then I was like, oh, I might just wait a couple of days. Checked on Friday, still wasn't there. But one of the big things to come out of NXT this week. Next week, we have a triple threat number one contenders match for the NXT number one contendership between Peter Dunne.
Oh, you can't call him Butch anymore.
No,
we saw that thing on Raw. Can't call him Butch.
Oh, I can't remember that from Raw. Anyway,
he was in the crowds with Kathy Kelly. He was sitting in the empty stands, which was either filmed before the show opened or in an AEW show. Sorry, that was fun.
Yeah, Pete Dunne. Wesley in his new heel persona, which that's one of the main reasons I'm annoyed I didn't get to actually sit down and watch NXT this week because I wanted to see how that translated this week, his promo. Because he cut a promo about the Rascals. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know what was said.
We should probably go on YouTube and have a look at it.
We should. But Wesley's in that triple threat number one contendership, and so is... Where'd you put him?
He's hiding. He's around.
Say his name and he appears.
Sorry.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. All right, much better than last week.
Once we timed it, we got it ready. Yeah, it's all good.
Just got to time it. So that's the number one contendership that got announced because of this week's dealings. So I believe it was Wesley was in the ring cutting a promo.
No,
he got interrupted by Pete Dunne.
I thought Hendry was in there. And he got interrupted.
Hendry was earlier in the night.
Oh, okay, right.
So Hendry was earlier in the night, got attacked by Wesley afterwards. Wesley cut his promo later.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne interrupts, and then Joe Hendry attacks Wesley from behind. All three of them. Who's your pick to face?
Ethan Page.
It's got to be Joe Hendry.
It'll be Joe Hendry, and he'll lose. Because I
Joe Hendry will lose.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I thought you meant Ethan
No.
Page. Well, they're going to put the NXT championship on a TNA talent.
No, they will not. But it's got to be Joe. You got to keep riding this wave while you can.
Absolutely. Other big news on NXT: we have new tag team champions.
Oh, we do. Chase U,
but not with Duke Hudson.
Oh,
it was Ridge Holland teaming with Mr. Andre Chase,
and they finally won.
And Riley and Duke were not very happy about last week when they got told that it was going to be Ridge.
Riley's over on TNA doing stuff.
He just qualified for the X Division.
Yeah.
What's their X match? They call it
Ultimate X.
That's the one. He qualified for Ultimate X.
Well, and the other thing too on
That's going to be good.
The Pete Dunne interview where he said like how it was kind of his thing on Sheamus saying that Sheamus never cared about the boys and anything that we did, and he goes, but where's Ridge Holland anyway? Where's Ridge? Where's Ridge? You know where he is?
He's a champion.
Winning the titles in NXT, which Pete would have known because he was down there as well. Like he knows where he is.
Yeah.
Like come on.
Sorry, he cut that promo before NXT. It's fine.
Come on, Butch, mate. Please pick it up. All right, Raw.
Yeah.
There was much
What a
more
way to start
exciting things
Raw.
than fucking Pete Dunne's interview. Rhea bloody Ripley, mate.
Rhea bloody Ripley. Jeez, she ripped Dom to shreds.
I think what was the line that you stabbed me in the back? And I'm sure you've heard this before, but it wasn't deep enough.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I missed that live, but then I saw the clip.
Poor little Dom.
Oh, shit.
I think that was great. And then I like that Dom and Liv came out in the crowd and they were sort of going a little off script to a degree. Dave Meltzer.
I think Dom's reasoning for turning his back, Rhea's too bossy, Liv gives me chicken tendies whenever I want, and that was pretty much it.
No. Dom's specific wording was, she lets me have chicken tendies. She lets me play games.
Yeah.
So, like...
Because Rhea's too bossy.
Liv's still controlling him, supposedly.
Yeah.
But, how good is it that, as a man, if I finally got a lady that lets me eat chicken tendies and play games? Like, you're a 12-year-old. Dom, seriously.
I mean, he looks like a 12-year-old.
With a moustache. That's great. I want to shit on Dave Meltzer here quickly because he complained...
Why not?
He complained about this promo and the fact that they went a little bit too personal with things, saying how Liv said to Rhea that your family's not even here. They're thousands of miles away, and I've taken your family there with Judgment Day. And then he was
I thought that was good.
Yeah, but Dave said, that her husband Buddy's in America, so she's got her family. Shut the fuck up, Dave. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So,
he's going senile with his old age.
But you know what? He doesn't like that kind of a promo with Liv and stuff, but it's okay. Chris Jericho can be, shitting on people for 6 years as the learning tree and doing horrible stuff in AEW, and he'll keep giving that a thumbs up. Wonder why. Yeah. Anyway, this was great. Damian Priest showed up behind him. That was a really cool shot.
Undertaker AJ style sort of
It was
moment.
very memey like that. Down into the ring, then they all fought. The Carlito match was great. Like the first half an hour Raw was Judgment Day.
What was up with Carlito? He looked banged up because he had his shoulder strapped to the high heavens.
Yeah.
Mismatched shoes? He had one black, one white one. Was that intentional? Or
I think so.
Get his gear lost?
Wasn't his gear
No, he had black pants on.
I
was wondering that the entire match. He just had odd boots on. I was like, I wonder if his gear got stolen and he had to fumble together something.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he spilled too much apple on one of them. With his apple. Look, this was all really good and it's obviously set up. What we suggested was going to happen at Bash in Berlin.
It has been confirmed.
Was Damien and
Rhea
against Dom and Liv. You thought it was going to be Finn originally with Liv in this kind of thing. So Damien, Finn. I think this is better.
Yeah.
Because this lets you get Rhea and Liv in a match.
But not have the title involved.
Correct.
Furthers that story.
Correct.
Delays the next title shot.
Absolutely correct. Perfect booking for it. Yeah. It also gives you Damien in the match because he's a cell now for what he's doing. And it also gives
the Finn interference to cost Damien and Rhea the match.
Which then moves into Bad Blood, and then you've got Damien, Finn, and Rhea Liv. Very smart booking all around.
I've seen people... I saw a card going around on TikTok about WrestleMania 41 predictions and Damien and Finn being on that card, and I was like, that is too long to stretch that feud out, I feel.
Yeah.
So having that at Bad Blood, I think is going to be good.
Yeah. I think that, well, at least has to be the first match.
You can't have that stretch out for the next 8 months.
No, I don't think so.
That's way too
long. No,
that's like when we got Judgment Day and KO and Sammy for 6 months straight last year.
Yeah, every Raw main event.
After WrestleMania, it was just them for 6 months. It's a lot.
I mean, the other feuds that are continuing from Raw, Orton and Gunther.
Orton and Gorton.
Orton and Gorton, the German wrestler. Look,
I noticed he didn't call him German this week.
He very clearly didn't. I love the way that they're selling. They're sort of building Randy up for this,
yeah.
And the way that Gunther is essentially saying that I'm just better than you. You've made so many mistakes throughout your whole career. You've always gotten away with some terrible things. You know, you're not on my level. You're just not as polished and as good as I am. You'll never catch me unawares. And then Drew McIntyre's music hits, and Randy Orton catches him unaware with an RKO. Perfect storytelling.
And not only, like, I thought when that happened, I was like, oh, McIntyre's injecting himself into this feud. No. Out comes CM Punk.
But CM
after
Punk wasn't there.
Travel delays.
Travel issues. That interview backstage afterwards with Kathy Kelly being like, so your travel issues, you were on the seat next to me in the flight. And he's like, yeah, I might have lied a little bit. Just a smidge. Also,
see the belt marks on Drew's back after that?
Mate. Ooh.
I reckon, like, once I saw that belt come off and CM Punk start whipping Drew, I was like, here's your thing. They're going to get to that dog collar match, strap match, whichever one.
Yep.
That's going to be your next match, surely.
And then we go to the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Do that, please. Build the feud up. Give us more things. The other thing that I point out to you when we were talking pre-show was the shot backstage of CM Punk walking before he talked to Kathy Kelly. He's walking backstage, and as he does, Gunther walks past him and smashes a whole bunch of bottles and stuff off a table. Really frustrated and angry. But you don't see out of Gunther. And I think they're really going to start playing this sort of mind games that Randy's getting into him.
Does mind games.
Yep.
And that's peak Randy Orton when he starts playing those mind games.
Yeah.
And it's already taken its toll on Gunther.
Correct.
Because you don't see Gunther lose his cool like that.
And he lost it. And I'm so happy for this.
Even with
Because Gunther's going to
Imperium.
win, right?
Yeah.
He's going to beat Orton.
Even with Imperium, he never lost his cool like that. He'd, like, raise his voice at them,
Yeah.
maybe slap him or chop him. That was it. You don't see that sort of, like, rage.
This like tick, tick, tick WWE. Storytelling,
They're doing
smashing it for
great.
Raw. There was more Odyssey Jones. I'm keen to see how that goes next week in that 6-man.
Yeah, I don't think that match was all that. It's just
No,
to
it's
propel him
more of the story.
Yeah.
And then with bloody Final Testament coming out, and that's why they set the tag match, and then Kobe's like, no, let's make it a 6-man. And like, look, can we stop with the Xavier Woods indecision here? Just get on board. Let's just put him in. Let's just have.
Are they going to get him on board, though? That's the question.
Oh, I don't want to see Xavier Woods in the Final Testament. Please don't.
No, just have him go off on his own.
Maybe if we have like a Kofi versus
Solo
Woods.
Xavier Woods run.
Yeah.
Give him a
Like
bloody
they did-
singles title,
like
mate.
they did when he won the King of the Ring.
Yeah.
And he had a really.
He had a singles run for all of a couple weeks, and then he was just like King Xavier.
My
Give him
point
a
exactly. And then the main event, Sammy Bron.
Yeah.
Oh,
really
actually,
good
no. We skipped the
Oh, we
Bronson
skipped
thing.
Bronson Reed, man.
Oh, look, this was good that they continued with this dominance of Bronson. I
I think
like
it was
the way
7 tsunamis this week.
that I love the way that Truth set it up with the Miz saying they went and spoke to Adam Pearce and got him a match with Bron, and Miz was like, really for the Intercontinental title with Bron? Hang on, Bron's already got a match tonight, and then Truth's like, I don't know, with him, and it's Bronson Reed.
Bronson, and Braun.
Yeah, there's too
lots of
many.
Bruns.
I thought it was going to be Braun Strowman, to be fair. Look, great. Miz is the character that he is right now. People liked it. Bronson beat him up. Good. And then destroyed the national treasure. What do you call him? National treasure. Michael Cole could stop it. He's a national treasure. Leave Truth alone.
Leave Brittany alone.
This is great. And I love the fact that, like, we said last week when they kept doing it to Seth that the refs and that shouldn't have just like covered him, just move him. And so this time when they destroyed Truth, they just moved him to the side of the ring. And so Bronson's like,
I'll just do it from the other corner.
so good.
Yeah, I mentioned this before we started recording. I feel like this obviously leads to Bronson versus Seth. But how do we get there from here? How long do we have Bronson taking out people like this before Seth comes back? Does he come back and make a save? And who does Seth care about enough to make a save? That's the big question.
I've got it.
You've got it. You've thought about it, and he's
Just
got it.
then,
He's
just
got
clicked.
It. He's got it, ladies.
We've always had Adam Pearce being like suspending him and stuff and getting his face and I'll get rid of you and I find you and you're done. I reckon it's Adam Pearce.
Ooh, okay.
I reckon there's next week something. I don't know who Bronson's going to face. Maybe it'll be like a 2-on-1 match or something, and then you'll destroy them, and then Pearce will come out and tell him to stop. Because I loved the one with this beatdown where he hit Miz, and then Truth was standing up and being like, "Get off! Like, don't do it."
And then he just did it.
Standing
That
hit him
was
with the crossbody.
Such a nice spot.
I reckon that's what happens to Pierce.
Okay.
I reckon Pierce
I can
gets
see
squashed, and that's when Seth comes back out.
Yeah.
And then
Bad blood, maybe? Because that's October 5th,
but see,
so we've got like 6 weeks to build that up.
But you look at Triple H's
Give
fucking...
Bronson a suspension for a couple of weeks. He comes back, then he gets revenge on Adam Pearce for suspending him.
Yeah, but you look at the way Triple H books pay-per-views, the standard shows are like 5 or 6 matches max. You're going to have the Damian Finn, you're going to have Rhea Liv, you're going to have Cody, Roman, or Solo or something in a match. You're going to have probably Braun against... Like, there's no room for
card,
it.
is it?
So I don't think it comes on a pay-per-view like that unless it's maybe a Survivor Series thing. Because unless Triple H goes back to 7 matches on a card, which I don't think he will,
Probably not for Bad blood.
you're running out of real estate.
Yeah. All right. That's fair.
Speaking of running out of real estate,
We'll see what
Braun
happens.
Breaker. I don't know how that's a segue, but he runs a lot into his spears.
Yeah. Well, we were meant to talk about him, and then we forgot to touch on Bronson. So.
Yeah, we got distracted. He beat Sammy
did.
again. And this now means Sammy can go back with Jey Uso and they can fight the Judgment Day and or get ready for War Games with Roman Reigns.
Bloodline.
Look,
Good match.
Good main event.
Yeah.
Sammy got the first win to give him the hope that he'll get through, and then Braun won the next 2. That's how it should be booked.
Yep.
Braun looks strong coming out of it. I'd love to see in Berlin that you have a... Hopefully, what I think you should do is have like an open type challenge for Braun, where he's like, I've beaten Sammy, he's out of my path, I don't want to deal with him again. Give me somebody else. And then you get Ilya coming out, and then you get Sheamus, and then you get Kaiser. And you've got Kaiser because he's German, so he 100% needs to be on that Bash in Berlin card.
Yeah. Good point.
Ilya, because everybody wants to see Ilya versus Braun again. And
Always good.
again, he's European, so that's great.
Yeah.
And Sheamus, because he still has never won that IC title.
Yeah.
And if you could put all 4 of those guys in a match, that is a big, meaty man slapping man meat match. Like,
Fatal 4-way. Lock it in.
put that on Berlin, that crowd would love it.
Love it. Love it.
So that's where I hope that goes.
Yeah. There was after Raw went off the air, there was a bit of a face-off between Sammy and Braun. No like handshaking or anything. It was just like a bit of a stare down. I think Braun was just asserting his dominance essentially.
Yep.
Sammy cut a little promo in the ring. Said he doesn't really know what's next. So
Day 1-ish.
yeet.
A yeet. Speaking of a yeet, SmackDown. Let's go to the Bloodline.
Ooh.
This was obviously the final segment, as it per. I mean, it starts with SmackDown with Solo saying that if Roman wants to take the Ulafala off me, come and take it off
The
me.
backstage promo with him and Tama Tonga was
good.
Let's touch on that first, because Tama brings in the Ulafala. Solo says, I'm the tribal chief, but if Roman manages to take these back, he will be the tribal chief.
You must
will
acknowledge it.
have to acknowledge him, and I will have to acknowledge him.
Yep.
And then they played on that perfectly in that segment.
They did. It was very well done. The fact that, I kind of didn't like it in that, like, Roman came out, smashed Tama Tonga out of the ring, got rid of him, Superman punched Solo, speared him, and I felt this is too easy. This has been too easy for Roman to get it. And he gets the Ulafala and he puts it on. The pop of that crowd all night was fantastic.
Waiting for that.
But that pop, when he puts it on, and that just, the feeling of everybody in the crowd being like, yes, we are back. This is what we wanted. And then Jacob Fatu.
Oh, didn't I eat my freaking words,
You did.
Last week, I was like, they will keep Jacob Fatu away from Roman until the Bloodline again. And War Games match.
Yeah.
And then, they brought him out and absolutely demolished Roman.
With a moon boot.
With a moon boot. Like, props to him. That was ridiculous.
And the selling of Roman. Like,
after he got that hip attack in the corner, I specifically made that the screen cap for the video I put up, and it's Roman just
like what?
He's dead. He's dead.
And then putting him through a table, and then not like the end of SmackDown had been for the last couple of weeks was that someone's gone through a table and then all standing above it.
No, they dragged him into the ring, and then
that's what I liked.
Did the pose.
So this is good. This now means maybe Roman will have to think that he can't do it all himself.
Yeah.
And he will need to reach out to somebody. And that's when Jimmy comes back. And that's when Jay comes back.
No yeet.
And I think that's where that progresses. Yeah. So that's not going to be in Berlin, right? The Bloodline stuff's not going to go to Berlin because we know Jacob Fatu probably can't leave the country.
I think you could have some sort of confrontation at Bad Blood because that's what it's starting to become.
And
But
then
I
it
think,
goes
like,
into
your,
War Games.
Your real
Yep.
crux, like that real like end game type moment where everything comes to its head, is War Games.
Yeah, agree.
What else happened on SmackDown? That was
When we
of
started
note.
with Pretty Deadly the musical and the Queen Nia.
This is the presentation for Nia Jax I wanted before she actually won Queen of the Ring. I was like, when she wins, I want this sort of pageantry.
You mean before she won the title? Like, she should have gotten this when she won Queen of the Ring.
Yeah.
And now she's
But,
got the
like,
title and Queen of the Ring, and she's
she's got
still
both,
gets
yeah. The all white, the crown,
Yep. Looks
coming out on the throne. It was all done so well. And then Pretty Deadly, the musical.
That was so
So out of time. It was
So
terrible.
bad.
It was so
That's
bad.
definitely the point. I don't like them teasing the tension with
No,
Tiffy
I
this
was not a fan of
soon,
that. So soon.
but it's fine. We're on the same page. That's
are,
okay.
we are.
Mia Yim gets involved. Cool.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess it's just a squash for Nia to
Yes.
lengthen her run.
You need a feud. Yep, 100%. Give Bailey some time off before she comes back and gets squashed again.
Yeah. When Charlotte, it's got to be Charlotte comes back and says, "I'm the real queen of SmackDown."
Do you know what I'd love? But the problem with that is it means Charlotte's going to win and pad her stats some more. Would be that Charlotte beats Nia and then Tiffy cashes in on Charlotte. So she doesn't even let her.
Funny that I mentioned that card earlier. The speculation on the card for the women's title was Tiffy versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. That's how you get to
I could
that.
say it. I could say it.
I like that. I like that.
There was another Giovanni Vinci video just for you.
Oh, wasn't that just a repeat of his last week one?
No,
Well,
it was slightly different.
That's why I kind of tuned out.
It was essentially the same premise.
Yeah.
But it was slightly different.
We'll get that for a few weeks before they announce when he's coming back, and then
Yeah.
he'll just appear.
And he'll go into a mid card feud with Carmelo
Sandy
Hayes.
Toes.
Oh, Sandy Toes, really? God, not him. Mello versus Andrade 3 was great.
Yeah,
This is
really
a
good
good match.
Andrade's spinning back fist, like his Judas effect.
Yeah.
It looks so brutal. The way
Give this
slaps his leg at just the right time.
Yeah, give these guys a best of 7 series because they've called it out like already when the backstage thing with Jake Cargill saying haven't you lost to him twice?
Yeah.
And so now Melo's now got one back. We know we're at 2-1 in a series kind of thing.
Yeah.
Make it a best of 7.
Yeah.
Actually call it out as a thing that you're going to do
I
rather
was
than just having them have
literally
random-
thinking that when I was watching. I was like, they're gonna do something because Carmelo losing twice and then winning once and gloating like that. I was like, this isn't it. Like they've
No,
got to
absolutely
extend
not.
this.
Yeah.
Surely.
Let's rush through the end, the other couple of parts for SmackDown.
The tag match.
The tag match was brilliant. The spots in this match, like I said, the crowd in Orlando, because they obviously it was an Orlando crowd, so they always get NXT, so they have big wrestling marks.
Yeah,
down there.
I'd say most of that crowd would have been at SmackDown for
Yeah.
sure.
You had Trick in the crowd, you had Roxanne, you had Ethan Page, so they were really playing into that Orlando theme. The crowd were loud the entire night. This tag match, they popped for every near fall. So many near
They
falls.
did so many good ones. Too.
Oh, it was so well done.
Like the fairy tale ending super kick combo.
That was great.
And that not finishing the match.
The blockbuster from the Street Profits.
So good. They did so well. I'm happy to see that Street Profits won.
Agree. I think them against the
Bloodline's good
Bloodline
option.
is a good match. But DIY definitely put them over.
Yeah.
Big time.
I think, yes, Bloodline have the tag titles.
Yeah.
I think pull the trigger for Street Profits. Got to do something. It's been 3 years since they've had those titles.
Nah.
Pull the trigger.
Nah, the Bloodline has to keep all the titles coming into War Games. And then I think the Usos will take it off them. Or Jay and Sammy.
We'll see.
Yeah. Look, I'd love to see Street Profits with titles. I agree.
It's been
Once
too
it gets once those tag titles, I think, get out of that Bloodline story and then go back to just being tag titles that tag teams wrestle for, sure, that's when Street Profits can take it. But right now, I think having the titles and having the Ulafala as a title and the Tribal Chief name as a title, that's all in that Bloodline story.
Yeah.
These tag titles will stay in there. And then there was the stuff with Kevin Owens and A-Town Down Under. Kevin Owens is hilarious. He's one of my favorite people on TV. I love him so much.
Backstage segment where he's just like, oh yeah, I don't deserve this. And I'm shit. And like, you can beat me, right? You can beat me.
You can do it. Yeah.
Oh, just that whole interaction. It's great.
But then when they had the match, which was fine, which was a good match between him and Grayson.
Yeah.
And then Grayson goes through his rolling stunner into the ring and then KO just stuns him.
Yeah.
I think when the commentators tried to say, oh, if KO just hits one stunner, he could be the world champion. No, he's not.
No.
He's not beating Cody. We all know he's not.
And then he brings the pop-up powerbomb back.
Oh, and because that wasn't his finish. Yeah. Please do that.
That's so good.
Look, great that he got beat down. Cody had to come out and save Kevin this time instead of KO always coming out and saving Cody.
And then KO grabs the title.
And hands across to him. Oh, that building the tension. Look, fine. It's the story that they have to do, I guess.
Yeah.
By the time until Roman's ready to start coming for it, but it's entertaining at best.
Yeah.
And it'll be a good match between him and KO.
And as long as they can hopefully potentially suspend that disbelief for us that KO might actually win.
Yes.
During the match.
Yeah.
I think then it'll be a really good match.
Yep.
At the moment, don't see Kevin Owens walking out with that title.
No, not at all. But it'd be fun 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, that's wrestling for the week.
Yeah, that is.
We've gone through all the shows. We haven't touched on TNA, but there wasn't really too much. I did see a clip of Joe Hendry trying to drive a remote control car into Moose's crotch. Did you see that online? It must have been a hardcore match, and I guess the bit was he had Moose in the corner with his legs out, and he went to drive the remote control car and it wouldn't work. It's the controller isn't working, so he just picked the car up and threw it. If you can find that online, that's a great fun little clip.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
I don't even know what it was for, but it was great. And then like we said, Sammy Guevara and that won the ROH tag titles, and Zion
Quinn.
He's just got Zion now.
Oh, he's just Zion.
He all I saw was like a 15-second
Zion the Scion.
No.
No.
Zion beats Bryan for the AEW World Champ. No, he doesn't. No, there's no way that's happening. No, there was like a clip where I don't even know who he was versing, somebody, and like he flipped around and did the like rope spot where he jumps over the top of them and stuff. And then he hit like a Judas Effect elbow, but like a spinning, like the R-Truth elbow that he hits that's really flippy in the air.
Yeah.
But that looks kind of like it doesn't hurt you at all because it's just a stupid flippy thing.
Yeah.
He hit one where it's like he hit hard and then spun out of it. It looked sick.
Oh,
it was a really cool spot.
Sounds cool.
Look, if he's getting TV time on TNA, good for
him.
Do it. We love another Aussie boy out there.
Aussie
he can go up on our flag.
Yeah.
Maybe after Tony Storm loses a title, he'll have to take Tony's spot. No? No, Tony stays on there?
Yeah, Tony stays on there. Still not vibing with that character at the moment. Like
the crazy
black
Tony
hair wig with the
it's getting a bit weird. So that's the week in wrestling.
Yeah, good week in wrestling.
Make sure you come and follow us on YouTube.
Subscribe.
Come and follow us on TikTok.
Join our Discord.
Come and have a chat to us.
Yep.
Like everything on Instagram, because Reece here does a brilliant job of creating all these TikToks and short form videos for us.
Yep.
Hopefully, which is the highlight, so you don't have to sit through all of this. And if you want to hear opinions on one target,
dedicated few,
get in there, comment, like, subscribe, all that sort of fun stuff for us. And next week we'll be back with our review of AEW All In, I think.
We will. Yeah.
We're going to do a show beforehand.
Yeah. I think we just do it after.
Yeah, I agree. Let's wait till All In and we'll have a chit chat about that on the podcast.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
We are. Yeah. What? How did the MXM sign off?
Touch tips. That was awkward.
Weird.
Thanks everyone. Have a good week.
Catch you next week.